What's going on, everyone? So, as we all know, the manga characters are coming, and we already know 4 of the characters are going to be Toshiro Hitsugaya, Shunsui Kyoraku, Byakuya Kuchiki, and Sajin Komamura. Now, that still leaves 10 spots open from what they said that we were going to have. We said we're going to have 14. Hopefully they increase that number in the future, but for the time being, we know we're going to get at least 14. Now, hopefully this means at least 14 5 stars. Hopefully, you know, who knows, maybe they might do some 4 stars. I hope they're not including the 4 stars in the 14, because that really suck. But yeah, let's assume it's 14 5 stars, and say that we have 10 left. So I figured I'd make this video and try to figure out what the possible 10 other characters will be. I've gathered a bunch of different characters in that arc. Not everybody's in here. Some of the Sturmritter that got killed off by Kenny and like that died off almost instantly and didn't really show that many skills aren't in here, as well as Grimmjow, Nell, Chad, Yukio, you know, all those people who were here, who were in the arc, but they didn't actually do much or show any particular skills. I know Grimmjow did something, but another Grimmjow would be essentially the same thing we just got, because he didn't really show anything new. In fact, he actually looked pretty much the same. But yeah, with that, let's get started. Speculate wildly. Right now, out of the gate, I'm gonna get rid of some characters that I don't think are gonna be in there. We're gonna try to narrow it down to 10. I haven't actually thought this out, so you guys are gonna see my thinking process as we do this. And let me know in the comments if you agree, because I'm curious to see how this will go. Because there are a lot of characters, and 14 is not that much. Well, 10 is not that much, considering the 4 that we're already getting are not on this list right here. But let's get to it. So I'm gonna start off. I'm not gonna go in any particular order, but I'm gonna start off with this guy up here. Considering I have his page open, and he is the first bad guy we see in the arc actually do something. So his name is I apologize real quick. I'm gonna butcher so many names, so I apologize for that. But yeah, his name is, let's see here, Azugiaro Iben. And like a lot of these names are German, I believe, so I can't really pronounce them very well. But that's this guy right here, the first character you see. You actually do see his Quincy released. It's a character they don't really explain. It's actually very strange, because he says he's not an Arrancar, he's a Quincy, but he has an Arrancar mask. So he's like an Arrancar turned Quincy. It's very weird. I don't know that they go into much detail about it, or maybe they do. I need to read the whole thing, honestly. But I don't think he's going to be one of the 10. I think you might end up fighting him. He might actually be a 4-star. I wouldn't mind having another 4-star in the game if it's just these guys, these, you know, lower tier guys. I wouldn't mind it, because that would give you more to kill. So, spoiler alert, by the way, I'm going to spoil pretty much the whole show. So if you haven't seen it, I apologize. But yeah, I don't think he's going to be in it, so let's go ahead and wipe him out. Next up on the list, let's go with Yachiru, because she's taking up a big spot on my screen real quick. Okay, so Yachiru, like I said, I'm not going in any particular order. Up until this arc, you don't actually see Yachiru fight. In fact, if you go to the other games, if you go to some of the other Bleach games, you see that all she really does is just unleash a bunch of spiritual pressure. In Brave Souls, they kind of give her kind of joking moves, which works out well for the character. But you don't really see what she does until this arc, which is basically, you can see, you end up seeing her Shikai, or quote unquote Shikai, because you don't really know at this point that she is, some people suspected, but when you see her Shikai, it kind of broke the illusion, but you don't really know that she's actually Kenpachi's Zanpakuto, which is strange because she has a Shikai of her own, so it doesn't really make sense, but we're just going to roll with it. She may be a new character. I don't think she'll be one of the 10 new ones. I think they might remake her later on in the future. I'm hoping they continue on making more than just 10. She might end up being a 4-star. I was gonna say I'd be fine with her being a 4-star, but no, because the version that we would see of her would actually be better than the one that we have now. So yeah, it's a possibility, but I don't think she's gonna be one of the 10. I don't think they're gonna waste a spot on her. So swipe her out. Let's go to this guy, Pernidas. I don't know how to pronounce this guy's name. It's a giant Soul King's hand, okay? It's a giant Soul King's hand. But you see him fight. I'm trying to find out the thing here. You see him fight Mayuri Kuratsuchi and Nemu Kuratsuchi. And the fight takes a really weird, a turn for the weird, but it's very, very cool. Because he ends up growing into giant, like 5 giant hands, and you see a bunch of different characters do a bunch of things. We'll get to that in a bit. But as for this character itself, as much as I would like to see how they do it, I can't imagine there being a character that's just a giant hand. That is, if he stays this shape right here, I can see it working, especially because you can't really see his, I guess, feet. So they can kind of play it off as he moves kind of ghostly like, and his moves can be ranged. He can be a ranged Quincy. His strong attacks can just be arrow moves. His special can be 5 giant hand attack, or like a super high 5. That'd be awesome. But yeah, I don't think he's gonna be one of the 10 characters, though I wouldn't rule him out. And it would be a very interesting boss fight if they do go to the manga arc and the story. It would be a very interesting boss fight, but I don't know that he would be one of the 10. Though it would certainly be interesting. So let's wipe him out. Next, let's go to this guy. Okay, this is the guy who actually fought. This is the fake Sternritter V. He was the Vanish, I believe. He was the Vanish, or he was supposed to be the Vanish. He had the ability to vanish out of people's memories and out of existence, and therefore out of people's memories. He ended up fighting Yachiru, which is when you saw Yachiru's Shikai. But at the end, he didn't die, I guess. Yachiru didn't beat him, but the true Sternritter V ended up getting bored with him and just kind of erased him from existence. So I don't think this is going to be a character that we'll end up seeing. His strong attacks will be very, very difficult to pull off. I don't even understand how you would do such a thing. But yeah, I can't even remember his name. But yeah, that's basically what it works out for him, is that you couldn't really picture him using certain strong attacks, especially because his power is Vanish, and there would be no point. There would be no point. So I don't think he's gonna be in it. Let's wipe him out. Pepe, freaking Pepe, man, the walking meme. This guy. Okay, so if you don't know what this guy's power is, I'm looking at this guy. If you're lost, it's the guy moving around. This guy's ability is basically he makes you fall in love with him. I think he's Sternritter L, because it would make sense. But he makes you fall in love with him and basically do anything he wants because you love him. It's very creepy and weird ability and character. You can probably make this work. Make him a similar style character to Zomari, where he just shoots love instead of the sun's thing. But I don't think he's gonna be in it. I can really not see him being in it. So he's gone. Okay, you know what? Let's move on to a character that might actually be in it. I think if they chose Nanao here, I think that would actually be pretty interesting. If you remember, she does have a sword, but she never had it. She never had it in her possession. It was always with Shunsui. And you never really see her use it up until the very end, because she didn't even know she had it. So her sword basically makes it toward... It's like a cursed sword. It can take out gods, but it pretty much kills any male that she marries to. And I can't remember for sure. I don't know if she's able to have male babies. I think it might just be female, or I might be making that up. But any male that she ends up marrying will die, which is why she wasn't, they didn't give her the sword, and Shunsui took care of it until they finally needed to use it. but that was essentially Nanao's sword. Now, it'd be very interesting if they made another Nanao. I would be all for it. It'd be kind of cool to have a Nanao with a sword finally. And she looks freaking awesome in this. Can we just say that? She looks pretty cool. So I would actually really like that. It's possible she might be one of the 10, but let's put her over here. Actually, let's leave her where she is. And we'll narrow it down and take a closer look to these guys later. Also, this is going to be a long video, so I apologize. I guess you can see how long it is at this point, but you know how it goes. Alright, so next up we got this guy, whose name I'm going to butcher again, but it was the commander of the Hueco Mundo Quincy Attack Force Suppression. It's basically Hueco Mundo Hitler. Or I guess the Quincy boss is Hitler. Anyway, his name is, let's see. Okay, Kiruge Opi? Kilge Opi or something like that. You do see him fight. Again, this is one of the characters that I think might end up being a 4-star. Not because of his fighting ability, because he actually ends up being able to take out, spoiler, Halibel and the 3 Bestias, and give Ichigo a run for his money. This guy was actually surprisingly really strong. And I do think they might end up making him a 4-star, because there are a lot of battles with him. So I would imagine they would put him in the game as a boss if they made the story. But I can't imagine him being a 5-star. It'd be a waste of a 5-star for sure. But I think he might end up getting a 4-star version. So he's gone. Actually, let's move on to Uryu, because he just caught my eye right now. So Uryu's it'd be very interesting, because he's one of those characters that played a major role in the final arc, although you did not see him do very many things differently. His moves are very basic. You've already seen everything he has up his sleeve. He does have a new ability of the Almighty, and he's able to switch the role that he's in. So, for example, if he's losing a fight and he's got like holes all throughout his body, his ability, he can basically switch the roles of the 2 combatants. So anyone he's fighting ends up being in his position, and he ends up being on top. It'd be a very interesting thing to see this play out. I can't imagine he'd use that as a special. It might be a healing move that does damage. That would actually make perfect sense, because it's essentially what he does. But I think they might actually bring out another 5-star Uryu. I wouldn't rule him out. As much as I would like somebody else to get that in that 10 position. I think he's actually one character that we can't rule out yet. So I think he might actually make it. So we're gonna leave him there. Next we have the mask. This guy, man. This guy. As dopey as he looks, the masked fighter. Let me see if I can find his name real quick. It's kind of hard to find all these battles, but this guy actually manages to take out, what was it? He takes out the 2 Vizards captains, takes out Rose and takes out Kensei. He ends up, I can't remember if he ends up taking out some of the lieutenants. I think he takes out Shuhei and maybe even Ikaku, because I remember he takes out Shuhei, because Kensei shows up to the fight. Shunsui's all beat up. I mean, Shuhei's all beat up, and they explain that, oh no, it's not him you should be worried about. It's James, his little fan. This is probably the weirdest character in the entire arc, in my opinion. There are some pretty crazy characters in this arc, but this guy, man, this guy's just weird. He's basically immortal as long as his fan cheers on him, and his fan is immortal. It's very weird. His name is Masque de Masculine, or something of the sort. I do not want him to be a 5-star. I think he would be a 4-star. Again, if they go that route, it's very unlikely they will go that route, just because I can't imagine them coming out with so many 4-stars. Maybe during events, you know, they can add more 4-stars as they've done in the past. They've added 4-star characters, though they're characters that are remakes of 3-star characters that just got a 4-star version of them. But it's still possible. I think we can still get him. I can't imagine they'll make him a 5-star. I think they're going to reserve the 5-star for the more wanted characters. So he's gone. Next is this guy, because it kind of bothers me that I don't know his name. He doesn't really play a major role. He basically traps Aizen in this net. I think he can make words or make letters or symbols and then create a net of them. But he gets taken out pretty easily as well. So I can't imagine this guy will be on the list at all. Let's move on to a Zero Division member. Let's move on to and let's go with this guy, the main man himself. I believe his name is Ichibei. Ichibei, I think is his name. If any of the Zero Division characters get a 5-star, it's gonna be him, because he came up. His whole thing is names. His whole thing is names, and you actually do see him fight. His fight's a little more fleshed out. You see his abilities, how he can change the name of something and basically make them that. I believe he changed the Quincy boss name to Ant, and he basically got the powers of an ant. But then Quincy boss just kind of like, yeah, but plot armor though, and he took him out anyway. So yeah, I think this guy has a very good chance. Ichiba is probably going to be one of the 5-stars. He might be the only Zero Division 5-star. I hope not, because I actually like the Zero Division. I think they're pretty cool. But yeah, I think he's gonna be in it. Let's move on to Soifon. Soifon is a character that I was kind of thinking about, because you do see her fight. She doesn't show off anything new in particular. When her Bankai gets taken away from her, she's like, okay, big deal. I never liked using it anyway. I'm more of a Shikai Shunko person. So it wasn't that big of a deal for her. I do think it's possible. I don't think she's going to get a remake. While it is possible, I don't think she will. I would absolutely love to see another Soifon. But like Shunko based, not Bankai based, because we already have a Bankai Soifon. But you only ever see her Shunko based in Brave Souls in her swimsuit and the original blue Soifon. But they didn't do a very good job of it. They just gave her a power boost and that's it. I would have actually liked to see her do some Shunko based moves. So while I don't think she's gonna get a 5-star version, I do think eventually they're gonna remake her. And who knows? Maybe they'll remake some of them. With their, time skip appearance, with the Quincy arc appearance. So I don't think she's gonna get a 5-star in this. I don't think she's gonna be one of the 10s, but I do think eventually she will be remade, because they are remaking some people, and right now, and I do think she's gonna qualify. So not one of the 5-stars though. Oh hey, look, I completely forgot about this guy. He was just hidden back there. Why not? Let's get to Kira. Okay, so this guy's awesome. First of all, Izuru is incredible. Also, out of everybody in the book, everybody in the story, this guy had the biggest plot armor in the end, and it's unbelievable that he didn't die. If you don't remember, he got blasted through the chest, or through the, well, you can see right there where he got blasted from, and he survived it. Everybody thought he was dead, but at the end of the day, he survived it, and he came back with vengeance and ended up killing, I believe, the guy who shot him in the first place. But yeah, I don't think Izuru's gonna get a remake. Well, it would be awesome. I don't think this will be the case. I kind of would like it though, but I can't imagine. He's kind of a really difficult character to create moves for, just because his abilities, while he doesn't know a lot of Kido, his abilities for, his Zanpakuto's abilities is mostly, you can't really see it. He hits you and it happens, so you can't really see it. But I would like to eventually see a remake, though I don't think it'll be this one. Alright. Let's go on to this guy. BG9 or something like that. He's the guy who ends up fighting Soifon and eventually takes her Bankai from her. I can see this guy getting a 5-star. I'm not gonna lie. I can see this guy getting a 5-star. He does have his own abilities, and I believe he eventually does use Soifon's Bankai. Though I can't remember if he actually fires it. But he does eventually use Soifon's Bankai. And he eventually uses his own power, which is like the mechanism or whatever. Like he creates guns out of thin air. He's like Stern Ritter K. Though they don't really tell you what the K stands for, I don't think. But yeah, he basically shoots guns, is what his whole thing is. He eventually gets defeated by Soifon. I think he gets blasted. He doesn't get killed, but he does get defeated. I think it's possible to see this guy's 5-star. His abilities kind of give him the ability to be able to do so. So I think it's very possible that we'll eventually see him. So I'm gonna leave him up on the list. Next, let's move on to this guy, the guy whose name sounds like pasta. I can't really remember his name, but I'll look it up right now. But this guy, if you remember, he's the guy that took out Shojiro, I believe is his name, the lieutenant of Squad 1. His name is Discal Bersi. He takes out the lieutenant of Squad 1, steals his Bankai, then later uses it against Yama. I don't think he's gonna get a 5-star, although it would be interesting. I don't think we'll get one, just because all he has is that lightning abilities, and then he gets taken out pretty quickly by Yama. So if anything, we'll see a 4-star, but he kind of got knocked out almost immediately. I don't think he's gonna be one of the 10. Moving on to another Stern Ritter that stole Bankai. This guy. I think his name's pretty simple, though I don't remember it. Kang, I think Kang is his name. Kang Da or something. He's the Stern Ritter I. He stole the iron. He stole Hitsugaya's Bankai. And managed to use it. But, you know, not for very long. He eventually got it. Hitsugaya eventually got his Bankai back, and he didn't get to use it very long. So I don't think he's going to be a 5-star. I would kind of like to see him in Hitsugaya's Bankai, but I don't think he's going to be a 5-star. So, bye-bye, Kang. Let's move on to Rose, because I actually Rose is probably my favorite Vizard, and I would really like to see another Rose. And this Rose knows Bankai. Now, that's the only reason that I think he might actually end up getting a 5-star, is because he does know Bankai, and you actually get to see it, and it's actually pretty interesting. He never uses his mask. In fact, I don't think until almost the very end, I don't think any of the Vizards ends up using their mask, which is a very dumb move, in my opinion, because, as they explain, Quincy Kryptonite is basically hollows, which is why they want to eradicate them. So why in the world would they not use their hollow powers? I don't know. I do think he might get a Bankai. I'll definitely leave him up here because it's very possible. Though, you know, who knows? I hope so. Next, let's move on to Candace Catnip over here. This is actually one character that I personally hope gets a 5-star, just because I like lightning powers. I'm a big fan of lightning powers, and that's the whole thing, is lightning. Whether I think she's gonna, I don't think she's gonna. I hope she does. I don't think she's gonna, because she gets taken out pretty easily, and you don't really see her do a lot. Well, I would like to see every character in this arc become a character. I wouldn't necessarily want to see them all 5-stars. I do want to see her a 5-star, but I don't think it's gonna happen. So, goodbye, Katniss. Or Candace, or whatever your name was. Alright. On a similar note to what's her name, let's move on to Bambi, because she was also part of that little group. Bambietta, let's just call her that. But yeah, Bambi was one of the Stern Ritters that actually, I believe she stole Sajin's Bankai, though she never actually used it. Although I can't remember if she stole. I know she fought Sajin for sure. Her power is basically explosions. She doesn't throw bombs, she creates bombs. She throws her reishi, and whatever the reishi hits becomes the bomb. We see her get beat by Sajin, although I can't necessarily say she dies, and she does come back as a zombie, but her abilities are definitely cool, and I think you can definitely create a character from her, and have her do like a lot of burn damage. There are definitely more characters that are a little bit more fleshed out, that have better abilities, and they would lend themselves better to strong attacks, but I think Bambi's actually a favorite of a lot of people. So there's a very good chance that she'll be a 5-star as well, because of fan favorite. She's one of the fan favorites, and I think K-Lab does listen to that, and I think they might eventually end up doing it. So, yeah. Let's move on to who's next. Oh, you know what? Let's move on to Kensei because Kensei. Okay, Kensei is one of the other ones you see fight. The other visor you see fight. We don't have a decent 5-star Kensei. The only 5-star Kensei we have is not good at all. Very bad. Well, his link is okay. Anyway, I think it's possible. I don't think we're gonna get him. I don't think they're gonna waste a 5-star on a character that we essentially already have. Although he would look a little different. You also didn't actually see any of his moves. They were all, you know, he used his Bankai. He died. Well, they say he died, but you see him at the end, so he didn't really die. I don't know how that works, but you don't see anything new, anything really interesting. I don't think we're gonna get another Kensei. I really don't. So sorry, Kensei. As much as I want another one of you, I don't think we're gonna get you. All right, let's move on to Grammy. This is a character that every time I see, we start talking about the manga characters, every now and then you'll see Grammy. You're like, oh, want another Grammy. Oh, want another Grammy. I don't know if it's because people like the way he looks because of the hood and everybody, you know, always likes a character in a hood. His power is insane, and they can literally make any strong attack they want, I guess, because his power is basically, I think he is the real Sternritter V. I believe he's the visionary, and he can create anything he imagines. He can create it. So if he imagines your bones are cookies, bam, guess what? Your bones are now cookies and delicious. But yeah, that's his power. I think they are going to make him. He's another one like Bambi. He's another one that people seem to really like. Just because you always see, oh, you know, Grammy hype, Grammy hype. People want to see Grammy. He did die against the fight with Kenpachi. But, like, who wouldn't die against a fight with Kenpachi? His abilities are certainly broken. He would be a character that I think... would be very interesting to make. Very difficult to make strong attacks, but his special would be pretty easy because you can just drop a meteor. So, yeah, I do think we're going to get a 5-star Grammy. But we're just going to have to see. Alright, moving on to Isshin Kurosaki. This is back when he was a captain. Isshin, if you didn't know, was the previous captain of Squad 10 before Captain Hitsugaya. You didn't see him fight in the actual war. You saw him fight the hollow that attacked Misaki, and that ended up being, I guess, inside Ichigo at the very end, or, you know, however that worked out. I think if we see a 5-star Isshin, we may see the younger 5-star Isshin. I don't think, because he does show up in Soul Reaper form, but you don't see him fight. I think it's possible we'll get him. No, I don't think we'll get him. If we get Misaki, then we'll get him more than likely. We'll probably get a banner with Misaki, Isshin, and Ryuken. Although, we'll get to that a little later. But we already have a 5-star Isshin. I don't think he's going to be one of the 10. We may see him a little more later down the line, but if they decide to continue it, but I don't think they will. So, sorry, Isshin. As much as I would like to see a Captain Isshin, I don't think it's going to happen. Misaki, on the other hand, I do think it's possible. Again, I don't think she's going to be one of the 10. As much as I would like her to, I think they're going to actually skip a lot of the backstory in the game. I don't think they're going to go cover the whole Ichigo's mom backstory thing. But I do think eventually we will get her. You don't really see her fight. You know she's very smart, and you know she's very strong, but you don't really see a lot of her fight. We may end up getting her as a medal exchange character. I would rather see her an actual, you know, good character, but I don't think she's going to be one of the 10, so goodbye, Misaki. Ryuken here. Ryuken's a very interesting character, because in my opinion, we should have gotten him a while ago. This is the teenage version of Ryuken. And I don't think we're going to end up getting a teenage version of Ryuken, because you don't ever see him fight. I think it's possible we'll eventually get a adult, you know, after he has Uryu and everything, present day Ryuken. I don't think he's going to be one of the 10s, though. I do think we're very close to getting him a 5-star, probably, if they don't do the manga characters, we might end up seeing him like mid-month this month, or next month in October. But sorry, Ryuken, you're gone. Let's move up to Retsu. Retsu up here, because everybody wants a Bankai Retsu. Her Bankai, while you don't actually know the name of it, because you hear her Shikai's name, and then when she uses her Bankai, she basically says the name of her Shikai, so you don't really know what her actual move is, what her actual name of her Bankai is, but you do know what it does. It basically melts everything. It's creepy and crazy. She was using it to train Kenpachi to learn Shikai and Bankai, I guess, but you know how that goes. But yeah, she ends up dying, which is a shame because I would have loved to see her fight against the Quincy army. I do think we're gonna get a Retsu 5-star. I think, honestly, as much as I do want to see it, and I think we are gonna get it, I think it's actually a bit of a waste, because you don't see her, because she doesn't play a big role in the story. I mean, I guess she does play a big role, but not a very long role, if that makes sense. She's not there for a very long time. And actually, if she does comes out, she's probably gonna be super OP. The only reason I'd rather get somebody else is just because they play other characters play a bigger role. You would see other fights. There would be more chances for bosses and everything. But I would definitely like to see this character in Bankai form. So I think she's going to be one of the 10. Moving on to Basby. Basby is a character that we actually see. He's actually the shooter that we see the most story from. In fact, even more than some of the other main characters. But you actually see Basby's story. He was friends with this guy over here, whose name I still can't pronounce, and I'll have to look for it later. He was friends with him. Friendship kind of broke apart as they were growing up. He ended up going back to try to fight him. Gets killed off. Basby is probably a definite 5-star. You do see him fight a lot of... You see him fight Yama. You see him fight Toshiro. You see him fight this guy, whose name I still can't remember. Let me see if I can find it here. Jugram, I'm probably mispronouncing that, but yeah, you see him fight him. He does die, but you do see him do a lot of moves. You see the way he fights. You see his abilities. He's basically just fire fingers, and I think that would actually lend to the game extremely well. I think it would be kind of like, Burner Finger 1, 2, and 3, and then 4 for his special. It'd be very basic but effective, and a lot of people like Basby, so I think Basby is safe. Good job, Basby, you did it. I'm proud of you. Alright, let's move on to the Royal Guard now, because I've been actually trying to do that for a sec, but I couldn't find their names, but I finally did it, so here we are. Okay, the first one, let's move up to, let's go with Kiryu Hikifune, I believe is her name. She's basically the lady who created the Soul Candy, and the ex-captain of Squad 12 before Kisuke. Kisuke got the position because it opened up, because she moved up to the Royal Guard. I honestly want to see all the Zero Divisions have 5 stars. I think Ichibe might be the only one who has one, but I would definitely like to see. This. I really want to see all the Zero Division have 5 stars. She would be the most interesting to make, because she only... Most of the time, she looks a lot bigger, because she basically converts her Rieishi, or Rietsu, whatever you want to call it, into her food, and she loses a lot of weight, and then she ends up looking like this. It'd be very interesting to make. I think if we end up getting a 5-star version of her, I think we'll eventually see several different strong attacks where her strong attack, maybe she gets big and then back to small, or the other way around. I don't think she's going to be a 5-star version, just because there's so many other characters. Like I said, the only Zero Division 5-star I think we're going to get is Ichibe, so goodbye. And I guess I can delete these other ones, but let's just go through them really quick. This guy, I believe, was the guy of the hot spring guy. Let me see his name here. Tenjiro. was the hot spring guy. You don't really see him fight a lot, although it would be very, very, very cool because he'd be another character that could be water based. The only ones we have right now are Holly Bell and what's his name? The other Shiba. Kai Shiba, yeah. He's the only other character that we have that's water-based Zanpakuto. It would be really cool to have another character that's water-based, and I think he would be it, because you can have a water-based character that inflicts burning damage. And I think that would be really cool. And you do see him fight. You see actually all the Zero Division captains, I guess, fight the Royal Guard and, you know, get beat up, but they're still pretty cool, and we all know that they are stronger than regular captains. So, but like I said, I think they're gonna have a lot of room. They're gonna try to make a lot of room, and I don't think he's gonna make it. So sorry, pal. As much as I really want to see him, I don't think he's gonna be in it. Let's see who's next. God of the Sword, Oetsu Nimaya. This guy, basically the creator of the Zanpakuto. This guy's awesome. This guy, you see him fight, you see him use a sword that he keeps in a sheath made of jelly because it cuts through anything, and it's super floppy, but it cuts through everything, really strong. Again, a powerful character, a character I think we might eventually get. I don't think he's going to be one of the 10s that they do initially. I don't know what the future of the game is going to hold after they do the 10. I hope that eventually they remake a bunch of characters and then they do the characters that they didn't do once they see how much people want them. But we'll see. But for the first 10, I don't think so. Moving on to this guy or this chick or whatever her name is. I don't really know her name. Let's see. Senjumaru Shutara. This character was really cool. It'd be very interesting to see her use thread and needles to basically take out enemies. I would actually really like to see her as a 5-star, but again, I don't think it's likely yet. But well, I guess we're just gonna have to see. It'd be a character that would easily get strong attacks. Certain, like the Royal Guard would, with the exception of the one that's food based, the Royal Guard would be kind of difficult to make. Kind of easy to make strong attacks for, but I don't think we're gonna get you as a 5-star. I'm sorry. Let's move on to another streamer here. I think it's G the Glutton, Liloto Lampard. This chick, very weird ability. She can basically stretch out her mouth and take a bite at a crime. She's basically the McGruff, the crime dog of Brave Souls characters. I don't know. I don't think we're gonna get her. It's just that simple. I think she falls in the same category as Katniss. I don't think we're gonna get her, or Candace, or whatever her name is. She might get a 4-star, but no, there's no way we're gonna get a 5-star her. So bye. Let's move on to Nemu. Shout out to Gecko for this Nemu. Oh, not this Nemu, but you know what I mean. Okay, so we do see Nemu fight. We see Nemu fight the hand, the giant friggin' Pernita's hand, the Soul King's right hand, I believe, and completely crush it. And then it comes back to life, but it dies anyway. It's this whole fight, really one of the better fights in my opinion of the last arc. It's really interesting. I actually really dug it. I don't think. Actually, no. I do think she's a candidate for sure. In my opinion, she's in the same league as now. I think it's possible we'll get her. We're just gonna have to see. I'm gonna leave her up here because it's, like I said, it's very possible we're gonna get her. Her moves would be absolutely insanely cool. So I'm gonna leave her up here. We're gonna try to keep narrowing it down. Hopefully she'll end up in the top 10. Like I said, this list doesn't mean anything, so who knows? They may show up, they may not. We're just gonna have to see. Let's move on to another. The Strength. I think there was one that was called the Strength. Let's see here. I'm trying to remember her name. It's this chick right here, the pink hair chick. I don't really remember her name. I'm trying to see. Oh, the Overkill. Meninas. Yeah. Not the Overkill, the Power. Sorry. Meninas McAllen. She basically just has super strength. Like, she's incredibly strong. we've seen characters like these before, like Yoroichi and like other like Yami, just characters with a lot of strength. Kind of underwhelming, just because their strong attacks are typically hitting the ground or hitting the air in front of them, causing a huge shockwave. Be a very easy character to make, but I don't think she's gonna get a 5-star. So goodbye. Let's go with Renji. Good old Renji, man. I've almost covered everybody at this point. Almost. Alright, let's go with Renji. We're definitely getting Renji, right? It's like almost a given that Renji is going to be a thing that we're going to get. New Bankai Renji looks so cool. He's finally useful. And I think we're going to get him. It's just that simple. He's got a new look. He's got a Bankai that he can keep active during the entire fight. His current Bankai, the giant snake Zabimaru, you can only use in a special. You can't really use in strong attacks, but this one you can definitely use in strong attacks. So I almost think Renji's a given. It's like, yes, we're probably gonna get him. You know, it's almost a given. Let's move on to Gazelle, or Gazelle, or whatever you want to say it. This chick man guy thing. I don't really know what. I think Mayuri ends up discovering that she's really a dude. I don't really know how. I don't remember how it works, but she basically has the ability to turn anything into zombies, or turn dead people to zombies, live people to zombies as well. But the live ones can be healed. It's very weird. Her strong attacks can consist of basically maybe like a Rose and Kensei, Toshiro, or Rangiku coming out and fighting for her, or Bambi, you know, zombie Bambi. I don't think she's gonna be one of the 10. I don't think because she'd be a very difficult character to make because her ability is basically zombification. I think we'll eventually fight zombie versions of her zombies, but I can't see her being a character, I'm being honest. Let's move on to Askin, because this character, as dopey as he looks, is like incredibly powerful, unbelievably powerful, and would actually lend itself very well to the game, as he is like poison based. He basically just poisons everything. His run would be hilarious. I do think it's possible we'll get him as a 5-star. I'm going to keep him up here because it is very likely we'll get him as a 5-star. Let's move on to some of the more tough guys here. Like this guy, the Valkyrie, I think is Stern Ritter V. No. His name is Gerard, I'm pretty sure. I'm just trying to remember what his letter is. Oh, it doesn't matter. He basically is immortal. They never actually kill him. Well, he does die, but they never kill him. Basically, if you hit him, if you kill him, if you injure him, if you chop something off, it'll grow back, he'll heal up, and he'll get twice as big. They eventually end up fighting him, you know, and he's bigger than the whole city. It's insane how big he is. It'd be a very interesting character to make. His special would be obviously giant stomp, or you know, whatever. But as for strong attacks, I don't know. His strong attacks would be very difficult to make because he's kind of just a melee character. He doesn't actually shoot anything, have any impressive abilities. We'll keep him on the list for now. We're gonna narrow down some of the characters that are on here after we get, you know, a little closer, but we'll keep him there for now. Let me see here. Who's next? All right, let's move on to this guy. Oh, actually, no, let's go to Jugram, because we already talked about him. I do think we're going to get him, just because he's second in command. You don't really see him use a lot of abilities, though we know he's really strong. You know he's the balance, which means he basically balances out... Hey, somebody subscribe. He basically balances out... Actually, I can't see. I think you guys can see who's subscribed, but I can't. He basically balances out characters... the injuries, which is actually pretty interesting. I do like that. I do like that this character kind of... It is also a character that can be a healer. I think it'd be very cool to see him have a healing ability. I do think we're going to get him. Moving on to Kenpachi. I think... Kenpachi is a given. We're obviously going to get another Kenpachi. The question now is, how they're gonna make them, or if they're gonna make two. I don't think they'll make two, but we can get a Kenpachi whose strong attacks are Shikai moves, basically uses his regular moves, and then his strong attacks is just, he slams down the Shikai. Or we can get a full Bankai Kenpachi. It's very curious how they can do this. Very weird how they can do this, because it's going to be... there's two entirely different characters they can make. I would like two different Kenpachis, but with only certain characters left, I don't think we're going to get two. I think we're likely just going to get a Bankai Kenny. I mean, he's one of the characters that's almost a given that we're going to get. We're going to get. Let's go to Ichigo, the main character himself. Obviously, we're going to get another Ichigo. Similar to Kenpachi, the question is whether or not he is going to be a Bankai Ichigo or a Shikai Ichigo with the Bankai special. It's going to be very weird. You don't really see his Bankai, you see it snap almost immediately. Sorry about that, I was readjusting. Almost immediately you see it snap. And you don't really, that's all you see. You see him use more his Shikai and his the new Getsuga Tensho. I don't remember the name of it, but you don't, I think that's it. I think we're just going to get a Shikai Ichigo, dual wielding Ichigo with a Bankai special. I hope that's the case. I really do, because I don't particularly care for his Bankai. So I would much rather see a dual wielding Shikai Ichigo with a Bankai special. Let's move on to the Quincy boss himself. I've been trying to avoid saying his name because I know I'm going to butcher it. What is it? Juach? I don't know what his name is. I'm not going to lie. Juhabak. I've seen a bunch of different names from him, but obviously we're going to get him. Similar question to Kenny and Ichigo, whether he's going to be in that form or in his mutated form, where he's basically absorbed his Occult Soul King's powers. That is the question. We're just going to have to see what happens. Let's move on to Chair-sama, good old Aizen himself. I do think we're going to see Aizen. Wow, we're actually entering a trend right now where whether or not he's going to be in this form or another form, he might be in the chair and just have a floating chair, which would be pretty funny. Or you can see him walking around and, use his strong attacks that way. I think the whole meme of being Chair-sama has reached Caleb at this point, and they may actually end up putting him in the chair. I wouldn't like that. I kind of want to see him use his, run around and use his sword. You never see his Bankai. He does end up using his Shikai to swing the battle to their advantage. You do end up seeing him use Hado number 99 or 100 or whatever he used, the giant lightning dragon. I think Aizen is almost a sure thing that we're going to get, because I'm pretty sure Caleb knows that we deserve a good Aizen. Let's move on to, Bankai Rukia, because Bankai Rukia. Yeah, I think Bankai Rukia is going to come out at the same time as Bankai Renji. He's another character that's almost a given, as much as everybody loves Rukia and her Bankai is so freaking cool. And it's another character whose strong attack would actually be pretty easy to do. And she ends up using it to kill this guy. The Fear itself. What's his name? I'm trying to think of his name. Let me see here. Asnot. The Fear itself. Basically, he is Fear. And as soon as people get hit with his Fear, they can't move, they're paralyzed, they're screwed. I think people really want to see him as a character. I really do think people want to see him as a character. I think he's probably one of the favorite of the Stirnritters, and I hate saying Stirnritter that way, by the way. I only say that because I know it's German. I would much rather say Stirnritters. But yeah, I think we are going to end up seeing him. Maybe... I would like to see him as one of the 5 stars, so I'm going to keep him up here. I'm definitely going to have to narrow down the list a lot more. But yeah, I think he's going to see it. Now, time for... I believe I have 3 characters left. Okay, 5 characters. Dang it! I need to hurry. Okay. Yoruichi. Cat form Yoruichi, Lightning Cat Yoruichi. Yes. Everybody wants to see this. Everybody wants to see Lightning Cat Yoruichi and Bankai Kisuke. Both of these characters, I think they're going to come out in the same banner. Everybody wants to see this, especially that Bankai Kisuke. I guess depends on who you are. I would much, I'm gonna go all in for Bankai Kisuke, and hopefully under the same banner, and I can get them both. But it's gonna be a crazy banner if they do it. You see Yoroichi, while she doesn't win, you see an absurd display of power, and you also see Kisuke with his Bankai, who is just absolutely mind blowing. Can basically reconstruct everything. He basically has the powers of Ed from Full Metal Alchemist without any transmutation circles or anything, because he can, what is it? He can reconstruct anything, right? Is his ability? He can reconstruct anything as long as the stuff is there, and yeah, it's insane. His Bankai is insane, and I think we're absolutely gonna see it. Mayuri is another. Mayuri's a very weird character, I think. I would so much love a good Mayuri, and I think it's possible we'll get him. I can't imagine that we'd get Nemu without Mayuri, although it is possible. I don't think it's going to happen, but it's very possible. I think we might end up getting another 5-star Mayuri. I would certainly love it. I think he looks really cool in that form, and his Bankai can be his special, and everybody knows what that looks like now at this point if you've read the comic. Moving on to Yama. You know what? We'll hold off on Yama, because I've been trying to get rid of this guy, but I've been searching for his name. I can't find it. He's gone. He's not good. I can't imagine he'd be a 5-star. He's a cool gunner, but I can't imagine he'd be a 5-star. He also gets, you know, he also gets knocked out. This guy, on the other hand, I think is a good option. He's the other character that Shunsui fights. Shunsui gets stuck with a lot of gunners. That's what I've noticed. But I think we'll see him. He can turn into a giant chicken in a special, but other than that, you know, I think he lends his strong attacks it's very good, because he can just use his gun for his strong attacks. I think it's possible. And I think that's all of them. I think I've covered everything except for Yama, which obviously we're gonna get another Yama, right? They have to make the Bankai Yama. You can't have one. They need to have the strongest Soul Reaper be a strong Soul Reaper in the game, because they don't have that yet. But I do think we're gonna get another Yama, because it's long overdue. We're long overdue another Yama, and I can't imagine they're gonna make this arc without him. Everybody wants a good Yama, and he's around that time for a remake, and it's the perfect time to do it. The only question is, how they're gonna make them. But fire characters are typically easy to make 5 stars out of, so we're gonna leave them on here, obviously. But I think it's gonna be an easy one to make. All right. So what do we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Okay, so 25 characters, give or take 1 or 2, because I can't count. All right, here we go. Time to reduce these characters' numbers. You're gone. I don't think we're, as much as I'd like to see this guy a 5-star, and it's very possible, I don't think we're gonna see him, especially because I think they're gonna keep the opponents and the Soul Reapers. The Quincy's and the Soul Reapers are probably gonna be in the same. If they're in the same fight, they're probably gonna have similar 5 stars, and since we don't get another 5-star Soifon, we're probably not going to get another 5-star Soifon. I can't imagine this guy, as much as I would like to see him in 5-star form, I don't think he's going to be there, so he's gone. Uryu, I don't think, like I said, I think they're going to make another Uryu, or this would be a good opportunity to be another Uryu, but he's definitely not a character that, like, I think there are characters that their abilities show off, their abilities are a little bit better than his, or a little bit better to show off. A little more flashy, and some characters have new abilities. He just kind of has the one. I'm going to rule him out. Similar with Rose. As much as I really want to see another Rose, because Rose is my favorite Visor, I really want to see that Bankai, but I don't think it's going to happen. Let's go ahead and try to narrow it down a little easier. Definitely going to get him. Quincy Boss. Obviously gonna get him. Hero of the story, we're gonna get another Ichigo. Kenny, because Kenny, so we're gonna put him over here. Let's move everybody else over here for now. Renji, Rukia, Yama. Okay. Okay. Everybody else at this point is kind of like a maybe. So here we go. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We got 6 characters. 4 left. 4 left. I think everybody wants to see Kisuke, and I can't imagine they would do a Kisuke and give up an opportunity for a Lightning Cat Yoruichi. I think, especially K-Lab would be like, yeah, we're gonna make a lot of money off of this banner. Kisuke and Yoruichi, yeah, let's do it. So, what is that? 8? 8 characters. That means we got 2 characters left. It'd be very difficult to make this guy, and his strong attacks would kind of suck, so he's gone. Dang it, this guy, I'm like 90% sure they're gonna make him. I would totally skip. If it was up to me, I'd skip him, but yeah, I would totally make him. Nemu, dang, as long as that would be a sweet character to make, there were just, the other characters are so much stronger. I don't think we're gonna get a Nemu. And now, a similar thing, you only see her, basically, you only see her swing a sword once, or twice. I don't think we're gonna get the now. Well, if over the other guys, I don't think we're gonna get her. People really want to see Ichibe. His moves tend to go a lot with the strong attacks. They would be very easy to make strong attacks out of. Yeah, I think Ichibe is gonna be one of them. Mayuri, as much as I do want a good Mayuri, similar thing. You do see him fight, but the only really new thing you see is a Bankai. You do see some other stuff that's new to him, but you know, I don't know. I can't imagine they would pick him over some of the other guys. So what do we got so far? 1, 2, 3, 4. One more spot left. One more spot left. Obviously, this list means nothing. People's opinions are a little bit different. Sorry, Fear. That's because I want to see you. Don't think it's gonna happen. I can't imagine they would pick Basby over Jugram, although Basby lends himself better to strong attacks, so sorry, Basby. Bambi. Sorry, Bambi. I really want to see a new Bambi, but I don't, or no, a Bambi, but I don't think it's gonna happen. This is actually very difficult. Bankai Retsu would be pretty cool. It's like if we can only choose one. If we can only choose one, I honestly think, let's get rid of you. It's got to be one of these 3. Everybody wants Bankai Retsu. Everybody wants Aizen. Not a lot of people want this guy, but he's kind of a major player. So, you got to take that into consideration. I'm gonna go with Aizen. The chair Sama's too OP, and these guys don't play. You don't see him fight that much, and Retsu you see her get killed. So yeah, this is what I think is gonna happen. These are the characters that I think are gonna have new 5 stars in the game. I believe that's 10. I hope I didn't miscount. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, 10. That's it. That's the list. Out of the, what, 50-something characters I had, this has been a very long video. If you made it this far, thanks for sticking by. But, yeah, these are the characters I think we're going to end up with. Obviously, who knows? I feel like some of these are given, like Kenny, Ichigo, Juha, Baksho, however you pronounce his name. It's going to really suck when I have to pronounce it for the other video. Rukia, Yama, Renji. I think the for sure things is gonna be this guy, him, whoops, bloop, him, her, and him. These 4 are maybes. I am almost positive they're gonna make Kisuke. I don't know that they're gonna make Yoruichi as much as I do want them to. We recently had a new Yoruichi, but I can't imagine they'd pass up the opportunity. But these are the 10 that I think that are going to be the other 5 stars. As you can see, there's not a lot of Quincy in here. There's only one. There's only one Quincy. But yeah, I guess we're just gonna have to see, wait and see. But thank you guys for watching. I know this was a very long video. But yeah, let me know what you think. What you guys think are gonna be the the other 10. I'm actually very curious what you guys think about this, because this is my opinion, but this is just one person's opinion, you know. So please let me know in the comments what you guys think are going to be the other 10 characters. And yeah, let's all get ready for the upcoming 4 that will come either this month or next month, or we'll see. But thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in a future video. Take care.